Hello everyone. Once again, I welcome you all to English Arcade. Continuing with our letter writing series, in this video, we will learn how to write a letter of reply to an inquiry. So friends, this video will focus on the following points. We will learn what is a letter of reply with reference to an inquiry and why is it written. We will learn how to write a letter of reply to an inquiry, that is the format. And we will look at a solved example to understand it better. Hope all our dear friends have watched the video on how to write a letter of inquiry. If you have missed it, I suggest you watch it. Prior knowledge of how to write a letter of inquiry is essential to understand all about a letter of reply. So you'll find the link to the video on how to write a letter of inquiry in the description box. A letter of reply to an inquiry is written to provide answers or information requested in a letter of inquiry. So friends, we all know that a letter of inquiry is written to seek or to gather information to certain questions that arise in our minds before we are able to take a decision. So a letter of reply satisfies the reader with the action points and the answers so that the request of an inquiry is fulfilled. That's also a grand opportunity to convert that inquiry into a business opportunity. Let us look at some essential elements which are required to write a good letter of reply to an inquiry. A letter of reply is a formal letter which is written for business purposes. Therefore, we must remember to keep our tone very polite, friendly, but at the same time informative, so as to ensure that the recipient of the letter is happy with our answers. Informal expressions, greetings, abbreviations, or contracted forms of words should not be used. The letter should be addressed to a person from whom a request or inquiry has been received, that is, the sender of the letter of inquiry. So, the receiver in a letter of reply is the sender of the letter of inquiry. Therefore, always open with a polite salutation like "Dear," followed by the person's name. Example, "Dear Mr. K.C. Jain." We must remember to write a polite and a very clear letter addressing every concern or question that the sender of the letter of inquiry has expressed. We must remember to leave a line between paragraphs. In the closing paragraph, express your willingness to be of further assistance. You may enclose a catalogue, brochure, price list, etc. for the sender's reference. And complimentary clause is yours sincerely, followed by the sender's name and designation. Let us look at the format of a letter of reply to an inquiry. Like any other formal letter, this begins by writing the sender's address. This is followed by the date. Next comes the receiver's designation and address. After that is the salutation. Here it's "Dear" and the name of the person, example Mr. Rajun Yadav. Next comes the subject of the letter. The body of the letter, as always, is the most important part of the letter, divided into 3 paragraphs. Introductory paragraph, where we thank the sender and acknowledge the letter. The second paragraph, we write 4 to 5 replies in points. And the concluding paragraph, where among other things we request for a positive response to the letter. This is followed by the complimentary clause and the sender's name. So the format of letter of reply looks like this: sender's address, date, receiver's designation, receiver's address, salutation, subject, body of the letter, complimentary clause, sender's name. Let us learn how to organize the content in a letter of reply in 3 paragraphs. Paragraph 1. Begin by acknowledging the letter and thank the sender for his or her interest in our products and services. Paragraph 2 is to be written in points where we give a brief but accurate reply to all the queries asked in a letter of inquiry. This is to be written in at least 4 or 5 points. Paragraph 3. Conclude by showing interest in doing business with the sender, ask for a prompt response, and offer to provide more details. Let us understand it better with the help of the solved example. As the sales manager of Messrs. Universal Book Suppliers, 26 Book Market, Daryaganj, New Delhi, write a letter of reply to the librarian of Kamal Public School, Bhopal, offering information regarding the sale of dictionaries and illustrated children's encyclopedias. Let's look at the answer. Always remember that the receiver of the letter of inquiry becomes the sender of the letter of reply. So we start by writing the sender's address, followed by the date, the receiver's designation, receiver's address, salutation, subject, and the first paragraph. First paragraph, we thank you for your letter dated 5th May 2020 regarding the sale of dictionaries and encyclopedias and are happy to give you the following information. Paragraph 2. Before we write paragraph 2 of the letter of reply, we have to imagine what all questions could have been asked in a letter of inquiry and answer accordingly. 1. We stock dictionaries and encyclopedias published by Indian as well as foreign publishers. 2. We have books suitable for all age groups of school-going children. 3. As desired by you, we are enclosing our latest catalogue. It contains the information you require. 4. We shall offer you 15% discount, which is given to all educational institutions. 5. We need 2 weeks' time to deliver the order. And 6. We accept payment by demand draft only. Paragraph 3. I hope you will approve our terms and conditions and place the order with us. We will be happy to assist you in case required. Hoping for a favorable response. Complimentary clause followed by the sender's name and designation. I hope by now you have all understood how to write a good letter of reply to an inquiry. Let us attempt this question and see how much we've learned. You are the director, National Institute of Choreography, Noida. Write a letter of reply to Ankush/Anshika of D55 Malviya Nagar, New Delhi, giving information about the diploma course in choreography being offered by your institute. Let us revise the important points that we have learned in this video. A letter of reply to an inquiry is a formal letter written for business purposes. Keep the tone polite, friendly, and informative so that the recipient of the letter is happy with our answers. The letter should be addressed to the person from whom the request or inquiry has been received. So we open with a polite salutation like dear, followed by the person's name. Example, Dear Mr. K.C. Jain. Write a polite but a very clear letter addressing every question or concern that the sender of the letter of inquiry has expressed. In the closing paragraph, express your willingness to be of further assistance if required. Complimentary clause is yours sincerely, followed by the sender's name and designation. Let's revise the format of the letter of reply to an inquiry too. Write the sender's address, followed by the date. Next comes the receiver's designation and address. Salutation comes after that, followed by the subject. Then comes the body of the letter, divided into 3 paragraphs. Paragraph 1 is introduction, where we thank the sender and acknowledge the letter. Paragraph 2 we write the answers, address the queries in 4 or 5 points. Paragraph 3 is conclusion, where we request for a positive response. Then comes the complimentary close, followed by the sender's name and designation. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it useful, kindly like and subscribe to my channel.